Is it recording? Do y'all see a recording notification?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Good morning, everyone, and peace and blessings on this beautiful Friday morning. I want to thank you all for being at our meeting for today. It's been a very interesting week in comparison to last week. You know, normally we were supposed to have our meeting on last Friday, but due to the ice storm that ravaged the state of Texas and specifically Houston, we are meeting today. So it's so good to see everyone here for our second official peer mentor meeting. We have so many things to talk about today, and I kind of want to just go into the things that we're going to be talking about for this specific meeting. But before we do that, because it is our first meeting here in February, and I love February not only because it has my sister's birthday, my niece's, my father's birthday, but it's also Black History Month. And I wanted to have our quote come from somebody who was a dynamic figure, not only to the African-American community, but contributed to the world of film and here in the US and around the world. It comes from Cicely Tyson. Our quote of today talks about challenges. And she says that challenges make you discover things about yourself that you never really knew. And I think this is very relevant to what we're talking about, because so many different students that we have helped, assisted, and come into contact with have so many different obstacles, challenges that they face on a day-to-day basis. And so we as peer mentors, as student leaders, are there to help them to overcome those obstacles. And it is in our everyday work to help to meet those challenges head on and overcome the things that the day may bring. So she says that challenges make you discover things about yourself that you never really knew. So I love Cicely Tyson, God rest her soul, and we thank her for her contribution to our lives. But today on February 11th, 2022, this will be as follows for our meeting agenda. We will be talking, getting some openings and greetings, which I just did from myself, and I'll get to see how you all are doing. Today, we will be talking from the frame or from the mindset of cultural awareness and engaging with your mentees. And we have a dynamic guest speaker with us today who is going to talk about cultural awareness and talk about some things that are going on here at UHD and different resources that we can utilize to help our mentees. We'll be talking about the Spring 2022 Gator Gala. We'll be also going and talking about some upcoming programs that we're having with the GSC, as well as some things that are coming down the pipeline for the remainder of the semester. We'll also talk about Gator Success workshops, and then we'll open the floor up to you all if you have any kind of questions, comments, concerns, and things that y'all are going on, that y'all are dealing with presently with your mentees. But without further ado, I would like to introduce our guest, who is Miss Bridget Dew, who works in our library. She's an amazing staff member who has a wealth of knowledge of all the things, resources that we have here at UHD. I don't want to belabor the time. So at this moment in time, I will go ahead and turn this over to Miss Bridget Dew.
Hello, everyone. How's it going? Hopefully everybody can see me.
Yes, good morning.
Okay. So I had a pretty interesting morning this morning because I ran to the store. I'm working late. As Mr. Holliday said, I work in the library. And sometimes in the library, we have late shifts. I think this lighting is not good. I'm going to bring you into another room. See, this is much better.
My lighting.
Okay. So with that being said, this room I feel here. But anyway, the young man that was helping me wanted to get back in school, and he was so impressed when he learned that I worked at UHD. And one thing that I've learned on the research desk, and all of you are peer mentors, right? Is whenever anyone approaches you or you approach them and they need your help, the first question should always be, what help do you need? Because what you think they may need may not be what they need. So that brings me into the resources that are available here at the university. So we have a lot of great programming. I will mention that. The Writing Center. I was a student who struggled undergraduate. I was in SPED, special education, from the time I was in 3rd grade to the time that I signed myself out at 18. And it was suggested that I get a job, not go to college, because again, that's what they thought of me. right? So it was my manager at Claire's. Y'all know what Claire's is? Who drove me down to Prairie View to see the school. There are always people along the way to assist you and to help you. So I'm saying all that to say, as a peer mentor, people need your expertise, be it telling them where an advisor is in financial aid, if it's taking them upstairs to the, I believe it's the 8th floor, to the writing center. If it's, what's another area that people really struggle in? The research desk. Does anybody know what it takes to be a librarian? Can somebody put in the chat, what do you have to be a librarian? I got a prize for anybody that can get it. The writing center is on the 9th floor. Great. Does anybody know what it takes to be a librarian? No. Okay, in order to be a librarian, you have to have a master's degree. I did not know that. Have you all seen the recent write-ups on libraries and HISD? That 90% of the schools without librarians are minority schools. So a lot of our students, this is a Hispanic serving institution and other, right? We know what the other is. A majority of our students come from schools never having had a library either K through 12. So a student can come to us never having walked in a library from kindergarten through 12th grade. So again, we can't make assumptions that people know certain things. So when you're helping people, that might be a question you ask them. Did you have a library at your school? And the reason why you want to ask that is because if they didn't, you know that they're going to have research papers coming up, right? And they may not know how to navigate. So in the library on the 4th floor are research librarians. And how that's helpful to your mentees is that we can help them learn how to read the catalog, how to find databases, make sure that they know how to check out books, how to find books in their major. These are all skill sets that sometimes if you haven't had a library at your school that you may not know about, okay? So I became a librarian because I was teaching reading at Peck Elementary. Has anybody ever heard of Peck Elementary? Probably not. We are less than a mile away from the main campus at University of Houston. And my students asked me, we were walking in the hall, how much those books cost in that room. And I'm like, books cost? What do you mean? They were pointing to the library. They had never checked out a book. There was no librarian, and they thought you could buy them out of that room. I was like, dear God. I already had a master's in education, but that showed me that I needed to go back to school in order to help many of our students that are coming up through the pipeline. None of my students, they're all in college now, from kindergarten through 12th, ever visited a library while they were being educated in HISD, 1 mile from the main campus of University of Houston. That's a problem, right? So with that being said, one of the major resources is the reference desk, okay? Now, remind them, everybody is different the way that they teach. Just because you go to the reference desk and maybe you might not, the teaching style of that person, every hour we rotate, okay? So tell them to come back an hour and their question might be answered a little bit differently. Okay, I want to give everyone my email. I'm going to put it in the chat. If you have a mentee that is struggling, set up an appointment with me, email me. I have no problem helping anyone. Again, remember, I was a struggling student. The way that I teach is based off of the way that I found out that I learned best. I would teach them in regular everyday English, and then I will implement academic vocabulary, right? So as minorities, we code switch when we go home. We don't speak necessarily in high level vocabulary, right? So when we process information, we need to be able to process it sometimes in edible bites, right? So if someone is using high level vocabulary, you're trying to translate what in the heck what the words are, and you're not getting the concept. So I taught everything from kindergarten to research on the graduate level. So if they can't read, talking to them, and when they're showing me things, I can tell you what grade level they read on. Some people still struggle with reading, right? And we do have resources to help those students too. Remember, just because you're dyslexic in elementary school does not mean that it goes away when you go to college, right? Disability services. Is everybody familiar with disability services with Dr. Pamplin? Okay, well, how is that relevant? So you're sitting there and there's someone that you're helping that's struggling. You might ask them, how was your high school experience? You know, did you struggle on that level? And of course, we're not asking in a condescending way, but if they tell you, you know what, I have dyslexia. Oh, okay. So you might suggest, you know, Dr. Pamplin may be able to help you get some books digitally where they can listen to their books rather than having to read them. Okay, does everybody understand what dyslexia is? Yes, different things. So the words sometimes move around the page, and people have a very difficult time when it comes to just regular text. If they come to the research desk, when the librarian is showing them certain resources, some of those resources will read to you. I have a son that is very, very dyslexic. You can see it sometimes in the way that they write their name. So anyway, all these things are different challenges that students may have when they're going through classes, and they might just be casually talking to you, okay? I wanted to talk about as well some of the programs we have coming up in the library. And I have the flyer up. That's why I'm gonna move it over. And I'm gonna share the screen. Do I have screen sharing capabilities? Yeah, okay. So every month we have a movie day. Jesus Serrato is over that. He's a Hispanic male. I just had someone, a young Black male, come up to me and told me he was thinking about becoming a librarian. So we have 2 Black male librarians. I'm the only minority female librarian, and we have Jesus. Why is that important? Because only 3% of librarians are minorities, 3%. So the likelihood of you walking into the library and seeing someone that looks like you is very rare. So the user experience is going to be very different, okay? So Black Panther, we're doing something International Movie Day. Jesus is over Movie Day. Come out and support him as well. We have the African American Read-In. This is with Dr. Vida Robertson and Crystal Guillory. That's going to be, actually, I'm going to change the time. It's going to be at 11:30 so that more students can actually attend. Let's see, that is next week. So if y'all have an opportunity to walk in, walk by, raise a hand and wave, please come by. Another thing, the Afrofuturism and diverse science fiction. So this is Dr. Joy Sanchez Taylor. She talks about Black and brown people in futuristic writing. Why is that important? A lot of times, brown and Black people are written out of the future. We are still be existing during that time, right? So why is that? What is the reason behind that? And why is it just now gaining speed as far as adding Black and brown people in the genre of sci-fi? Okay, very interesting. Dr. Sanchez Taylor, she has an awesome book on that, and she wrote her dissertation for her PhD on that. Please come through and support us. I would love to see y'all. And I have bribes at the front table when you come through. Lord. So that evening, Quentin, he will be talking about comic books. We will actually have a minority comic book store owner coming in to speak with us about a couple of different series. You'll see the flyers coming up. We would love to have you. Both of these events are on the 22nd, one in the morning, one in the evening, okay? And then on the 23rd, we have the Black History Listening Lab. The Black History Listening Lab is music contributions from African Americans. We have QR codes around the room. You can go around and download the different playlists and enjoy it on your, we have paper ones too. So if you just want to keep scanning them and listen to them throughout the day, we would love to have you. Now, something else. Now, I don't know how many more openings we have. I'm going to share this. I think I have to stop sharing and then open it. If you have your phone, go ahead. Can y'all see this flyer? Go ahead and scan this QR code. This is a luncheon that we're going to have that evening on the 22nd. So if you like fried chicken, greens, macaroni, sweet potatoes, scan this link. We have a program and we would love to have you. Spaces are limited. So if it's not any spaces, I will contact student activities and ask them to at least open up some more spaces. Can somebody tell me if there are any spaces on there left?
It says there's 12 spaces left.
Uh-oh, so y'all better, y'all better hurry up. So, yes. So, and we need more, so it has undisclosed just in case we go over, people aren't just still showing up. So it's going to be in the social work building, okay? It's on Black health and wellness. Yes, we are still eating soul food and we're talking about mental health, okay? Let me tell you, it's hard times. We're all just trying to enjoy ourselves with a little bit of food, okay? Wow. Don't take our food away from us. And anything in, you don't have to eat a whole plate of greens. You can have a little taste, right? Right, Mr. Williams? Okay, so scan this. This is for the luncheon. If I could just have you all, please come on the 22nd to learn about Afrofuturism. We know about Black Panther, but we're bigger than Black Panther, okay? We have other contributions and other great literature that we can share. And last but not least, I am trying to start a book club. I have started 2 special collections in the library. One called Latinx Voices, and the other one, African American Voices. It is very important that as people are walking around waiting for classes, that they have a space where they can go and get books and read about people that look like them. That if somebody's going between Spanish and English in their regular life, that they can pick up a book of fiction and read the character doing the same, okay? I would love for you to help me start this book club because I have children probably closer to y'all's age. And what I think is interesting is not necessarily things that y'all think are interesting. So I would like for it to be a student-led book club. And that opens up different levels of conversation, right? There are things that we want to get off our chest that we want to talk about. And there's a such thing called bibliotherapy, where therapists will recommend different books and you sit there and you discuss the books. But little did they tell you is that the character in the book might be reflective of you, right? And so as the person is discussing that character, they're thinking, oh, wow, I do the same thing. So that happened to me when I was getting my master's. And I was headed to law school after getting my master's, and the professor suggested, you know, there's a professor down the hall that just wrote a book on, the name escaped me. Essentially, it's like, it's called the imposter phenomenon. So here I am getting all these degrees and she's looking at me, diagnosing me, right? And so I read about the imposter phenomenon and I did my research on women, how we come into that, right? So bibliotherapy is a theme. It's great to talk about how you feel, and it doesn't always have to be your own narrative, right? We could talk about someone else's narrative and talk about how their life might be reflective. of our own. So I've talked about a lot of different things. I've talked about a lot of things that I've seen on the research desk. I've talked about a lot of things that I've seen in the classroom. I hope that the next time I meet you all is not in Zoom, but sometimes that you come by and say something to me. And like my professor said, the loneliest people on campus are the librarians. That's why we talk y'all to death. And when we see y'all, we're genuinely excited, right? So come see me. I'll be there at even 5 o'clock today. The library doesn't come close till 10. And sometimes we're creeping around the library at 10 o'clock alone. Did anybody have any questions, Mr. Williams? Is it Miss Almeida? Yes?
That's your
right?
Yes.
Okay, I was making sure I said it right. I taught at Almeida Elementary.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, but bibliotherapy is a thing. I didn't even know that that was actually a phrase, but it makes sense because my book club, like we're just on and talking and it's like, but it makes sense. So that's a thing.
A lot of times people, especially minorities, we don't talk about our feelings, right? But we're very opinionated about everybody else. So I would love to start a book club. Please email me. And I would like to get it started, with relevant books with people that look like us.
Thank you so much, Ms. Bridger. You're awesome.
Thank you.
Especially the fact that you told about like how only 3% of like minorities are librarians too. Like I was like, wow.
3%. 3%. And we wonder why we don't have libraries in the inner cities because a lot of people don't want to come into our neighborhoods.
Yes, ma'am.
Can we just be honest about that?
Ooh.
They don't want to come into our neighborhoods. They don't want to deal with our children.
Exactly.
I taught at a predominantly Black school and a Hispanic school. When I went to Almeida, when I was the librarian at Almeida Elementary, it was predominantly Hispanic. We had no books in Spanish. And I was like, how are you at a predominantly Hispanic school and none of the books are in Spanish? And let me tell you, reading a book in Spanish when you're not fluent, my kindergartners did correct me. Miss Du, you need to roll your R's better. And little kids are so honest. I said, I will try. So I can fake an accent pretty good because little kids will tell you. So it's something that we need. And it's something that I'm going to keep preaching about because some of you all, just because you're not an English major, you could be a history major, whatever your major is, we need, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you can get tenure as a librarian. And in many schools, not at UHG, many schools, you're considered faculty.
Okay.
And a lot of people don't know that.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, so it's a good, like if you're someone that likes to do just a little bit of research, but you want to be on the collegiate level, the library is an excellent route to that. Any other questions? As you can tell, I absolutely love being a librarian. I love being an educator even more. So that is my email. And my goal is to have these book clubs up and running next month. So reach out. Is there anything that you wanted me to hit on, Mr. Holliday, that I did not?
I think that pretty much did kind of hit on it. Is there anything or that you would tell students? Because we're dealing with students who are on academic probation, and I'm trying to see what other resources that we possibly don't know about that the library has that students can utilize to help them in their studies. I know we, in the beginning of the semester, had the soft opening. We're back on campus now. So some of our students have even, which is surprising, have yet to come to campus. And so what kind of things that we possibly don't know that students could utilize from the library?
So we have something called, sorry.
Go ahead, you got it.
We have something called interlibrary loan. I think the biggest thing is knowing what questions to ask, because if somebody's on academic probation, they don't just get on that. That's a process, right? And so the biggest thing is A, what resources do you need? B, once you find out those resources, it might be, I didn't have the money for the book. Like I know in the sciences, those books can get like $200. There's a thing called interlibrary loan. They can always go upstairs to the 5th floor and see if we can check their book out from another university around the country. And when I say book, I am saying textbook. They can also talk to their professor about putting the book in class on reserve. So what the professor, who many of them have the book in their office, can do is bring that book to the library, put it on reserve for students who may not have the money to buy that book. What else can I see as a resource? There is something called, let me tell you, everybody don't want me to tell this, but I'm gonna tell it. There is something called, it's like a universal library card. When I was in library school, I would go, and I'm gonna get the name here in a second, it's gonna come to me. Go to the main campus. I got my master's at Texas Women's University, but I would study on the main campus, and sometimes I would need to check out books. It's called the Text Share card. I'm gonna write this in the thing, Text Share card. And with a Text Share card, if you have a local, for example, like a library card just with your local library, you could go on a college campus, get a Text Share card, and be able to check out books from that campus. Does that make sense? So only ones you can't do that with are private universities, but you can go to Fort Bend and check out books there. You can go to, anybody here, if you are a UHD student, you can go on the UH campus and check out books. But let's say you're spending the summer in Austin, right? You can go on UT's campus and check out books with that Text Share card, okay? The Text Share card, you can actually go upstairs on the 5th floor and tell them you want a Text Share card. All you need is your driver's license, and typically, I'm gonna put the link here in just a second so you can see everything that you need, but you can get a Text Share card from your public library as well. So the biggest thing is a lot of people don't see themselves as social workers, but all of y'all are social workers. People need resources to help them. So the more people you go around and meet on campus, the more effective you are going to be. And Mr. Holliday will tell you, if I see you more than one time, I'm gonna find out who you are. And the reason why is because there's something in education called banking knowledge. And banking knowledge is when you have knowledge of something, you feel like somebody doesn't need it. You as the person with the knowledge, you should not reserve who you give information to. You should share the information and allow that person to determine if they need it or not, okay? So we don't ever want to bank knowledge. We want to be able to tell people what we know and let them be able to use that to their advantage. Another resource that I know on campus through the library that you may need is, I talked about interlibrary loan. I talked about the Text Share card. The reference desk is very helpful. I gave my email address. So if somebody is struggling academically and they need help, I don't mind helping them. We talked about disability services. And right now I wanna say, and if they need help with just like things like bibliographies, that seems to be a thing. They can always go to the reference desk with that. And
there's another question in the chat that was in regards to the Text Share card. The question says, can we also use it at Houston public libraries?
Yes, any state anybody that uses state funds in this public. So if you live out in Brazoria County and you have a Text Share card, you can go anywhere in Texas and use that card and check out a book. Again, not private, you can't go to TCU, Rice, those types of schools where they have private, but is HBU public? I want to say they're public, huh?
No, HBU.
Oh, no, they're private, Houston Baptist. Yeah, so it has to be like a public university or like Brazoria County, you can go into their libraries, things like that. You could go to Prairie View if you're out there. And I say that because in the summertime as a teacher, when I was in grad school, I would travel and I would actually utilize books and then they'll just send the books back for you.
Anything else, people?
And I will tell you this, anybody that is a student in HISD automatically has a library card with the Houston Public Library, HPL. So any brothers or sisters or people with children that are here, Yeah, and we have children's books. When I was getting my master's with my first master's, I had 3 children. And sometimes my kids had to sit in the hallway while I was in class. We have children's books in the library. When you're studying, I don't know anybody's story, and you have to bring your kids, come to the library on the 5th floor. We have children's books. Get them a book. We have something called, whenever I'm on the spot, I never remember anything. We have free movie subscriptions. And yes, we have movie subscriptions, things like that to keep them busy. People come in the library with their kids. You can rent headphones, chargers. So if your kid's tablet is about to go out, come up there and you can rent a charger, and you can keep your child busy. Sometimes we forget that that there's a lot of parents that come through. So, and this is the programming. We do have something coming up with, what is it, Dr. Felicia. She is going to be doing the Crown and Glory. If you're a natural hair person, a curly hair person, that's going to be on the 22nd as well. We try to stagger everything so that you can attend all the events on the 22nd. So you can start at 10 o'clock and attend events all the way till lunch in the evening, if you so choose. So, and I've just been talking. Like I said, we're lonely people.
No, it's awesome. Ms. Du, we want to thank you so much for being a part of our meeting. Everyone, if you have any kind of mentees or anybody that needs to know about the resources that we have, Ms. Du has a wealth of knowledge of the things that's going on here at UHD. We wanted to also talk about, the programming during Black History Month to increase our cultural awareness. There's a little bit of everything for everyone here. So we would love for people to encourage their mentees to participate in some of these events. I was able to go to 2 events. The one last week with Laura King, who was the daughter of Rodney King. If you know about Rodney King's story in the 90s, that was an amazing event, as well as the event with Nicole Hannah Jones this past Wednesday. Amazing, eye-opening events. We just want to encourage our mentees to be a part of the great things that UHD is doing. So Ms. Du, we want to say thank you so much for being with us. We have your contact information, and we will not be a stranger to the library. It won't let it be a lonely thing. Librarians won't be lonely after contact with us. So thank you so much, Ms. Du, for your time.
Look, I am honored to have gotten to talk to you all. Thank you for the invite. I did put the TechShare link in the chat.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ms. Du.
Thank you. See you all later.
Take care.
Thank you.
So next on our agenda, I'm thankful for Ms. Du coming on here and talking to us about the resources with the library. We will go on later and we will talk about our spring 2022 Gator Gala. So essentially our Gator Gala is going to be held on March 1st, 2022 from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And this great event is essentially going to honor the students who did well academically in the fall 2021 semester. The Academic Advising Center and the University College is putting this event on and is seeking assistance from our peer mentors to assist with this event. So we need you, right? And so essentially we need help with manning the sign-in table, showing students to their seats, helping to prep for goodie bags for students, possibly cleaning up and bringing something back to the office. Like I said, the event is going to be from 11 to 2 on March 1st. Basically, if you cannot stay the whole time, we can just do it in shifts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a sign-up genius, and we need peer mentors to help with this event. I don't think I have been able to go to a Gator Gala since I got hired here. I think during the first week that I was hired here, it was possibly a Gator Gala event that was going on. And it was in the A300 room, huge participation from students who did well academically. So I know we're working with probationary students, but we also want to give the flowers to those students who did well this past semester. So we need your help. If you're able to help, please sign up on the Sign Up Genius, which is coming out soon. And we just need your help assisting with this. So that is coming down the pipeline. That's going to be on March 1st. And speaking of, volunteering for events, I want to thank those individuals who were able to come out to tabling this week. we were able to get a great support and great, communication from students who came up and talked to us at the GSC about what we do and how we can service students. But I just want to keep in mind when it comes to these events, it is very much a part of your duties as a peer mentor to participate in these events. People just don't put this on just to, just say for the sake of just doing it, but really want to honor those people who did well in their academics. And so being a part of an event like that, we definitely want the event to be successful. We want it to go off without a hitch, and we want your help and need your help to sign up and to participate in this. So as peer mentors and student leaders, let us celebrate those students who you were able to assist last semester and get the just due that they are. So this event is going to be on March 1st, 2022, and we need your help. So I will create a sign up genius, and I will go and be in communication with Ricky Whitehead and the advisors from the Academic Advising Center about this event. Does anybody have any questions about Gator Gala? The next thing I want to kind of
I'm sorry. Quick question. So I already Miss what's her name? Sorry. Miss Torres already reached out to me, and do I still need to sign up on the sign up genius again?
Did you give her a specific time that you were going to be able to participate?
I'll be there the old time.
What was that?
I'll be there the old time.
Okay, cool. So if you've already going to be there the whole time, I will go ahead and get that information from Ms. Torres, and then I will input that information into the sign up genius to kind of like assist or just kind of just fill up those spots so I can visually see who's going to be here for what times and everything. With that, it gives us like a scheduled time that blocks out the times to know who is going to be doing what from which time to which time. So if you're there going to be the whole time, I'll just go ahead and input your name in all of those slots. But yeah, that's where we're at. Any other questions about the Gator Gala? Okay, so we are having a lot of events that's coming up in this month. Next week, we have some great things as well as the remaining parts of the month. We're gonna have our Valentine's Day photo booth. And if Riley wanted to kind of give some more information about that, it's gonna be held on February 14th through the 16th. Students can come basically here to the GSC. And the plan is for students to come here to the GSC, take a nice little, we're gonna have a photo booth set up under the TV, and they can come and take a little picture for Valentine's Day with their special someone and or themselves to also celebrate Single Awareness Day. So yeah, Riley, did you want to kind of give some more information on it, or? Riley?
Yes, have you not had a chance to talk to Beatrice?
I have not. Send me a DM about what has taken place. And
Okay.
Just send me a DM. Okay.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay, so also just let you all know, we are continuing to have our Gator Success workshops. The one that we had this past, which was yesterday, was focusing on goal setting, time management, and beyond. We had some participation and some great participation with the students that were there, but we got to increase the participation from our students that we're working with. So all of our mentees who are on academic probation, our workshop attendance went from 4 from the first one to I think 9 yesterday. We need to increase participation for our students to participate in these workshops. So please get the word out, you guys. Drop it in y'all's chats, drop it in y'all's messaging, y'all's texts, and all of that to let them know that we're having these success workshops. We're giving out the t-shirts, the Gator Vision shirts, mugs. We have a student that has literally come to every workshop just to come and get like free swag. And when this individual comes on, I just know it's like, dang, what can we give him today? Because it's just like he participates and loves the workshops and loves getting like the free stuff that we give out. But we want, okay, thank you. Yes, all I want to say is that we want to increase participation and have our students to participate in these events. So please, please, please encourage your mentees to come to our Gator Success workshops. Michelle, I have on here that about coffee and conversations. Did you want to kind of give some information about coffee and conversations coming up?
Yes, so we will be doing a coffee and donuts for all the students, which all of your students are our students. So please encourage them to come by on February 23rd. We'll be sending out a flyer shortly once we get it approved so that you can send it to your mentees. You can send it in text, send it in an email, whichever, whichever or all methods. And yeah, just encourage them. It's a good opportunity also for you to maybe meet them in person, and, y'all can have like that, just face-to-face, interaction, and it's fun and it's delicious because it's donuts. So yeah, so just save that date and just kind of keep on the lookout for that. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Also, I wanted the peer mentors at the conclusion of this meeting, whenever we end, I need the peer mentors who are working in the UHD 0010 just to stay behind for a little bit so we can discuss a little bit of things and get us all on one page with, messaging, interactions with the mentees, and we'll discuss more of that. But if you are in the UHD 0010, stay behind the meeting for a couple minutes so we can discuss some things and talk about things going forward. On behalf, what else I was about to say? Oh, I want to see how y'all were doing. How are things going with the mentees? I know I've gotten a lot of messages from various people saying that it's been very difficult to get in contact with these mentees and reach out to them. So I just want to hear how are things going with you all at this moment in time.
Yes, I also have the same problem. It is really hard to contact my mentee.
Okay.
I call them, I email them, but some of them just answer me. So I decide to tag them because whenever they read the message, I know they read this. Because if I email them, I don't know like if they see it or not. But
Yeah.
I tag them, then I know. So that's the one way of doing that.
Okay. Thank you so much for that, Zhao and Emma. Zhao and Mary Kate. At this moment in time, like what I've been requesting, I've had like some other peer mentors who have been it's been very difficult to get in contact with the mentees. If you could just provide that list with me if you could just give me a list of your students that have not either replied or responded, I need you to send that to me in an email directly to me so that we could go ahead and do some extra digging just to see what is going out. The biggest thing that has been going out for this semester is pushing the resources that we have here on campus. So we are part of a campaign in conjunction with the Academic Advising Center to send the students emails, texts, and communications about various places on campus, whether that is the Writing and Reading Center, Supplemental Instruction, or the Math and Statistics Support Center. We've been sending out massive emails, text messages to get students to participate. So we want to kind of do the same thing with our peer mentors. So what's going to end up happening is in the future is I'm going to be able to send you all an email, just like a generic email, just saying, hey, Gator, or what's up, Joseph, or hello, Sarah, just checking in to see how your week is going. If you need assistance, let me know, all this types of things so that we can make sure that our engagement is on point. My biggest concern for you all is making sure that our mentees are in constant communication with you. And in case y'all didn't know, there was these big meetings that have been taking place with the UHD seminar classes last semester. And I was able to meet with various people, the seminar professors that y'all were matched up with last semester. And when y'all took those surveys, the students were very honest about the effectiveness of peer mentors doing their jobs, right? And so basically the students who utilized you all really loved the engagement that y'all have done with them, the programming, the studying, you helping them. It's been a complete amazing experience for them. Even the professors named some of their peer mentors and just said like, my peer mentor Litzy did this in class and led this, it led like different discussions. So I want to say keep up the good work, but we want to make sure that we are present and that we are doing everything that we can to make sure our students are getting the best assistance that is needed. Most of our students are struggling, especially with the academic probation students, and it's very difficult for us to get in contact with them when we're not specifically in a class with them. So if you need assistance, if there's people that have not been contacting you or responding to you, give me those names so the team here can jump on it, contact them, and make sure that they're on the right page and that they're doing well. Okay.
Yes, I will send you an email today.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you. I've been responding to some of them. Finish their assignment this week, but I'm requesting that we have a short instead. Any other comments and concerns? And also, good people, just breaking news. Don't worry about the Valentine's photo booth, for it has been canceled. Has the roster changed in many ways? Has the roster changed in any ways as to how many mentees we have, or has that stayed solid? That's a very good question, Anna. So what initially was going to be the design for this semester, that you all were going to receive 12 to 15 mentees per mentor, right? That was the initial thing. But there was a time, I think probably like 2 weeks ago, when we had an influx of students who registered for classes and increased the numbers for students who are on academic probation. So the latest list that I have sent you all is the one that is accurate for now. So I think the majority of everybody numbers have either went up from 12 to 15 to 18 students in their classes. Now that list is possibly subject to change because of the fact for those students who are in those seminar classes or the ARP courses, because the enrollment into those specific courses increased as well. So nobody should have over like 25 at this moment. Everybody should have an average to probably like 18 to 20 students per mentor. But thank you for that, Anna. So please set up those group chats, send out your mass communications, send those lists to me directly for students who have not responded or anything like that.
I'm sorry. I have it's because I'm asking because I'm looking at the list right now and I see at least one person. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say his name or not.
Please don't.
Okay. Well, I have one person that that's not on my roster and not in Natty's roster as well.
Uh-huh.
And but he's in the class.
And he's not on the list?
He's not on here. He's not on the list.
Send me the name in the DM because
Okay.
I'll split the names up. He probably was one of those late enrollment, please. I'll go over the list and fine tune the comment again today just to make sure everything is good. But send me his name and we'll get it placed. But thank you for
Okay.
that out.
Yeah, no problem.
Anybody else have any questions? I know it's been very difficult, guys and gals, but please just keep doing the things that you're doing. I just want to make sure that we're good. Everybody is being contacted. Everybody is getting the assistance that they need. And it's been pulling teeth for us too. Some students this semester are reluctant to talk to us, but when we send texts, if they need help with, the different resources, if that's writing, reading center, supplement instruction, they have been, trickling in saying that they needed assistance in certain areas. So just want to keep you all abreast of that. I feel like I'm missing something. Is anybody from the GSC staff that possibly, that if I missed something that needs to be said, because I feel like I just went blank.
Yeah, I just kind of wanted to just talk about, just give some tips on, with people not responding. Something I like to do, and I know this is maybe like weird, but I like to kind of like what's that, a catch bait? Like where you send something where it's like, they're kind of like,
clickbait.
interest. Yeah, like to where, like if tests are coming up and be like, hey, like say, like change your message to kind of be like, hey, tests are coming up, just checking in on you. Have you, did you need assistance with studying? I can set you up with something, kind of something like that, to where, kind of like what your syllabus is kind of looking like. So, things like that, because, resources are on campus. So like, hey, I'm sure around this time, writing, essays are due. Did you know? Kind of things like that. So where like, don't just keep doing the same thing if it's not working, like try something different, try something, because you don't know what will be when they look at that message, they're like, oh, wait, actually, I do need that. Maybe I guess I will respond, so just try something different, be creative, think about, what all is going on in the semester, like this essays, tests, resources, maybe the library, and even like next semester, if it's early in the semester, you can maybe even say, now that you know about like the library, be like, hey, just checking in. Are you having any trouble getting books? They'll be like, wait, what? You know what I mean? Like, I do actually need help with this. So that's just kind of just start thinking of like, ways to kind of like change the way you reach out to them.
Thank you for the suggestion and tip. Yes, Miss Praise.
Hi, everyone. One thing I found out this week was that reaching out to them with business every time sometimes doesn't register with them. So sometimes just reach out to them and ask about things not related to school. I did that with my mentees, and on the group me, I was asking them what name they would like to be called, their favorite color, their favorite shows, and we got into some discussions. And I felt like it's more than I've gotten from spring mentees in a while. So I felt like it was a good rapport to begin with, and I think it could work with some other mentees too.
Thank you, Praise. Anybody else have any comments or concerns? Yes, Ms. Karen.
This is just a comment so everyone else can watch out for the same thing, but I do have the UHD class, and one of my most like responsive students, I just met with the professor today, and they let me know that he hasn't turned in anything. And so obviously like he wasn't really on my radar because he was so responsive. Like anytime I'll text him, like he'll respond or tell me he's doing well. And so that was kind of like shocking for me. And so from now on, I feel like I'm gonna literally be asking, did you literally turn in this specific assignment? Have you turned in this specific assignment? Like, you know what I mean? Because sometimes we have on our radar the ones that haven't texted us back, but sometimes it'd be the ones that are texting you back too. So now I feel like my questions are gonna be way more specific. I know for some people, you don't know exactly what assignments they have, but I remember one of my favorite mentee class professors, she would ask like, if you were just talking to the student, it was a playful question. She would suggest be like, okay, tell me everything you have to do this week. It was kind of like a challenge. It's supposed to be playful. It's not like, you don't know what you're doing. It's supposed to be like, okay, like try to think on the top of your head, like, do you know what you have to do this week? And a lot of the times it is meant for them to just take out their syllabus and be like, oh no, wait, I don't know what to do. And then they'll just take it out. Or they'll be like, yeah, I know I have a test this week or something like that. So I'm gonna be like so much more specific. Like, did you turn this in? Did you turn this in? Or for the UHD class, for the Meet Your Mentor assignment, whenever I met with them to answer the questions, I wanted a lot of them, they turned it in like right as we were done talking, like, okay, turn it in right now, like no need to wait, let's just do this now. So I know, so it's not like, oh my God, I met with them, why didn't they turn this in? So yeah, I would ask specific questions about their assignments, because sometimes they'll be telling you that they're doing good and it's like, okay, they haven't turned anything in. So yeah, just to keep those on your radar as well.
Thank you, Karen. Anybody else have any questions? Okay, so guys, thank you, guys and gals, sorry, everyone. Thank you so much for being with us on today. We have a lot of things that are coming down the pipeline. Be on the lookout for programming that's coming out from the Gator Success Center. We have the Gator Gala that's coming up, so the Sign Up Genius will be created today. Please sign up for time so that we can make sure that we are represented well and that we are in support for the University Colleges event to celebrate all of our great academic achievements for people who did well last semester. Coffee and Conversations is coming up in 2 weeks. So we'll be dropping that flyer very soon. And we want many people to come and have those conversations and enjoy the donuts and all of the great coffee and beverages that we're gonna have for that event. And also we wanna increase our Gator Success workshops. So please invite your mentees to these workshops. We'll be having our next one on February 16th from 3 to 4, talking about goal setting, time management, and beyond. So be on the lookout for that. And if you're having any issues with people who are not responding to you all, send me the names in an email directly. Please send that to me directly. Okay, I need it directly. Weekly reports are due tomorrow at 12 p.m. And for students who are in the UHD seminar classes, I want you all to stay back so we can have a discussion. Everyone else, you are dismissed, okay? Have an awesome and blessed semester. Well, not semester, what I'm saying, blessed weekend. Sorry. Have a
Hey,
blessed
Jess-
everyone.
hey,
Yes,
Jesse.
sir. What's going on, Jamar?
So I have a quick question about those forms that you want to send back.
Yes, sir.
Could you just kind of elaborate what exactly is that again?
Yeah, so what those forms are is for you all to gain access to a database called EAB. So EAB is this huge platform for us to keep track of our students. It's basically for you to be in communication with your mentees and be able to use these features on there. Like you can send like huge, massive text to the students via that platform, not even from your phone. So it was from the powers that be. No, just UHD students only, that, what am I? The powers that be basically said that the peer mentors need to have access to EAB. And so that's why I'm trying to get all these forms. It's a little tedious process because it has to get sent up to like ESO and all these other people in IT for you all to be put in those things. So yeah.
There's a section on there where it says that wants us to put our social security number.
Yeah, so there's also a section on there. If you drop down on that menu, that you can either put in your Texas ID number. I forgot which other options, but there are other options that are on there. But just know any information that you all share with me is confidential information because I am a UHD employee. That information is tight and it's here. So
Okay, cool. I was just curious on it.
cool. Thank you for the clarification.
Cool.
Awesome. If you are not in a UHD seminar course for this semester, if you're in a UHD seminar course, please stay behind. If you aren't, you are free to go. Thank
Thank you, Jason. You have a good one.
Yes, you as well. Be blessed. All righty. So here we are. We meet again.
Yes. So this is everybody.
Yes.
Okay, good. Nice. Okay, so yeah, I don't want to take too much of your time. I just, like as Jason said, I just kind of they wanted us to make sure that we we're all on the same page. We never really kind of got together and just kind of talked about, how we're going to be working
One
with the
second.
professors.
Sorry, do you want to
Yes,
stop the
ma'am.
recording?
Oh, sure, I can.
Yeah, I know, I don't know if you want to